Welcome to the Tennis African Child. I'm here with Kolo, Angie, and Kono, and we're gonna ask each other some little questions to know each other more.
Connor, what do you think Namibia can teach the rest of the world about developing tennis talent in emerging regions?
So I think Namibia does a good job trying to host as many tournaments and events as possible. They host ITFs, so they almost host zonals every year, I think. And this year, for the first time, hosting Davis Cup, which in previous years they didn't always want to do. I think if other countries host more things, bring it more attention to tennis, it helps a lot. In past interviews, you've spoken fondly of your grandmother. What role has she played in your life and tennis journey?
I feel like my grandmother is such a big support of mine. She's like a father figure, a mother, and a grandmother at the same time. She wears a lot of shoes, so I would say that's been one thing that I love about her. And just the fact that she took care of me and my twin sister from the orphanage, and she went out of her way to, provide for both of us, even though she had like 3 other kids to take care of. So that's one thing I would say I'm happy about. She leads the example, and I feel like I'm just taking on her footsteps, and she's a strong woman. So I'd say that's one thing that I really look up to when I see her. And in my tennis journey, I feel like she allowed me to play tennis, so that's something that I'm happy about. As the first Black South African to compete in the French Open Juniors, how has that milestone impacted your perspective on the sport?
It's impacted it big time. Coming from where I come from, tennis is not the biggest sport in South Africa. And to be the first Black, South African to play at Junior French Open was a huge milestone for me, a huge milestone for the country, I would say. It was a great experience. It gave me more belief in myself. It's given me the opportunity to kind of put belief in other Black South Africans and help them as much as I can.
As one of the high-profile players from Benin, how do you envision your role in promoting tennis at home?
I would say try to go home as many time I can, try to donate some stuff I have, to wear clothes I'm not wearing, and try to organize some show with the kids, trying to teach them that you have to have fun first with tennis, because to not put pressure on yourself. I think that's how I started first, so that's what I would say.
How was your journey from Nairobi to international courts shaped your identity as an athlete?
It's been tough, I would say. Yeah, it's been tough. I feel like Africa is not really big, especially in tennis, I would say, because I feel like African is known for more sports other than tennis, and especially in Nairobi, known for track and field, and tennis was not really known. So I would say me picking up the racket and playing tennis, that really helped me a lot, opened some doors for me, and still opening doors for me. So I would say that's something big. And just the fact that many people are now wanting to play tennis in Nairobi, not only in Nairobi, I feel like also in Africa. And I feel like all of us sitting here, we're actually opening doors for the rest of young African tennis players, and that's something big for us.
Oh God.
So I would say just us being here and doing what we love, and tennis is what we love, so that's one thing I can say. Okay, Gloriana.
Yes.
How did it feel to step onto your first international court representing Benin?
Oh my God, it was an amazing experience. That's true. It was really nice. I went with my parent, the one who always support me. I went to the US Open. I see the top players, how they do. It feels really good, and putting a name for my country, it feels amazing, and I hope I will continue to do that.
Amen. Yes.
Amen. Kuno. Now that you're also based in the US for college tennis, how do you stay connected to your root and the tennis community back home?
I try to go back as many times as possible. But living in the US, going to college is not always easy. I only get to go back like once or twice a year. Also, I would say my brother and I are planning on doing some exhibition matches and for the kids in Namibia, the young kids, they all have dreams of becoming big tennis players. Yeah, I play Davis Cup every year too, or I try to play every year. And yeah, like that we stay connected.
If tennis didn't exist, I feel like my passion and talent would actually go to any sport, but one that I could pick, I would say track and field. Just the fact that I'm quick, and I feel like if I wasn't playing tennis or if tennis didn't exist, I would go to track and field because I actually love watching track and field, so most probably that.
I'll take my mindset. My mindset of being loose, free, being a laid back person, but also someone that works hard. Coming from South Africa, it's not easy.
If I could bring one thing from my country's culture, it would be speed. I feel like we're known for track and field, and that's one thing I would say I would bring. Anything to do with endurance, because I feel like tennis is a very competitive sport and we run a lot, so definitely speed or endurance, something to do with running.
I think it depends what tournament it is. For example, if it's a big tournament, I feel like my whole country is watching me, so I feel a lot of pressure. But if it's just not as big of a tournament, I don't really feel much pressure.
I would say drawing. I love manga, especially Naruto, and I want to create a manga, and yes, that's what I would say.
I think the biggest misconception would be people don't actually understand how many players we have in Africa. We have a lot of players, a lot of talent, and I think people just truly believe that tennis is not a big sport in Africa, but we have a lot of young players rising up. We have a few guys playing on the Pro Tour. So, it would be nice if people could just understand a bit more what really goes on in the African tennis community.
If I could team up with any African athlete, I would say my countryman, Ferdinand Omanyala. Just the fact that he's going to bring speed into the court, and he's a beast, so it's going to be nice. That's why I'm going to choose him.
When you say you speed, like you fast, and he's fast.
So it's going to be good. We're all going to run for balls.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're good friends too, so it's going to be a good thing.
Celebrity.
I would say passion and discipline, because tennis is not a race. It takes a lot of work, a lot of discipline. You have to keep working hard, no matter what happens, because you have there's a tournament every week. So even if you lose first round, or if you win, you have to start over and over, and you have to maintain your goal. You have to keep your goal in mind, and know that one day, or you just have to believe first also in yourself. And yes, that's what I would say.
I think my biggest sort of achievement outside of tennis for me personally was creating a foundation with my brother, the Montsi Brothers Foundation, where we try to help kids in any way possible that want to play tennis. We give rackets, we give shoes, clothing. So just doing that for me, that was very big. I've had a lot of people help me in my life, so I also want to give back to the younger generation.
That was all for everyone. Thank you so much for people who are watching and stay connected.
Cut.